presentation of Fox Sports.
Day. After joining the rest of the nation in mourning last weekend, the players and coaches are refocused on football, hoping, as we all are, that the familiar Sunday rituals will provide relief and reassurance. Slowly but surely, Americans from all walks of life are getting back to work, and after the events of the past 12 days, we here on Fifth Avenue in Midtown Manhattan are getting set for what is now week 2 in the NFL. I'm joined by my NFL Today teammates Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, and Jerry Glanville. And gentlemen, more than ever, I'm very delighted to be sitting with you here today.
You know, I think at no other time in my life, Jim, in my 62 years, have I been more proud to be American. I'm so proud of the people of this city, the people of every city in this country. This is the greatest country on earth because it is a country under God, and I'm so proud of that.
You know, and I had different feelings almost until I flew in here and saw the site of that despicable act. And I'm so proud also to say that I was born here in New York City, and Rudy Giuliani is the mayor of the city, doing such a wonderful job. So proud to get the chance to meet some of the rescue workers and the people that are involved in everything going on down at Ground Zero. But more importantly, I'm so proud, like Mike says, to be an American. And it all really started for me as watching President Bush's speech last week.
Absolutely.
That was such a healing process. I'm so proud to be American.
Well, yesterday, we went down and we were with New York's finest. We were with the police department. We were with the fire department. And the firemen talked about one important thing, the family of firemen. We then went with 3 people, came from Toledo, Ohio, 3 firemen to help in the rescue. Here's guys that aren't getting paid their own way. They're one of many. They're from all over the country. God bless the firemen.
Met a lot of spectacular people here in the city this week. You know, if there's a tangible thing to compare this weekend to, it would be that weekend after the JFK assassination. And Mike, I want to ask you, because you played on that weekend and you had the highlight, perhaps of all highlights, of your Hall of Fame career from that day. What was it like for you playing on that weekend?
Well, don't forget, Jim, the president was assassinated on a Friday. We had finished practice. We traveled on Saturday. We went to Pittsburgh to play a game because that's what they told us to do. We were totally numb. Everybody was in shock. They were numb. But once the game started, that was all gone. It was just football as usual. We played our hearts out.
What do you think it'll be like for the players today?
I think they're going to go out there and play their hearts out. They want to dedicate this one to the citizens of this country.
All right, Mike. In the aftermath of September 11th, security has become one of everyone's.
Of a couple weeks ago, and Chris, I know you were in New York for a funeral and got a chance to go by Ground Zero.
Yeah, I did, JB, and as I walked around that rubble and thought about my friend at the bottom of that pile, I was so mad I couldn't even collect my thoughts. And then the firemen came up and we started talking about it, and then a couple of them started talking about the Giants, and then we started playing around a little bit and having a laugh together. And I was amazed at how those people look forward to football. They wanted us to get back on track. They wanted a distraction, and I think it's important for America to go back now.
You know, my emotions have run the gamut over the last 2 weeks. Initially, it's horror and shock, and then that gives way to numbness, and then anger, and the anger hasn't subsided, but it's turned to inspiration. I've been inspired by the men and the women of the fire department, the police department, the rescue units in New York. I've been inspired by the people of New York, how they've really set the tone for the rest of the country, and Mayor Giuliani, and I've been inspired by the President of the United States. In so many years, we've heard the Star-Spangled Banner and God Bless America as athletes, and we've been more entertained by it than inspired by it. I will never listen to the Star-Spangled Banner the same way again, or God Bless America. I'll never look at the American flag the same way. I've been inspired by the people of this country, how it's galvanized this country, and we've come together, and make no mistake about it, this is good versus evil, tyranny versus freedom, and I think we're going to come out on top.
Certainly each of us know that the military is being mobilized for action. We know that, and certainly our thoughts and prayers are with them. And we want to give a special hello to our adopted family aboard the USS Harry S. Truman, who we visited last year. All right, folks, the NFL, as you know, didn't play last week. That decision was made by NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue with support of the players. Today, though, the NFL is back, and that means so are the New York Jets and Giants. The G-Men are in Kansas City, as is the commissioner, who joined our Sam Rosen to kick off our Fox Watch. And hello, Sam.
Thanks very much, JB, and it's great to have the commissioner here as the NFL returns to action. Commissioner, a difficult decision last week to postpone games, but the overwhelming response has been so positive. So, yeah, that reaffirms that decision.
Well, it really wasn't that difficult. It was just to make certain we had a consensus and that we weren't overreacting. But as a nation, we'd gone through something that was without precedent in our lives, and we needed to pause. We needed to grieve. We needed to support our neighbors and our families and even strangers. And we did that as a league. The nation did it. Now we need to carry on and not forget. We need to carry on and remember and be more resolute than ever.
The result is a change in the schedule and a change in postseason. What can you tell us about how things are going as far as lining up the Super Bowl?
Well, we're getting really good support from the mayor of New Orleans, from the congressional delegation of the state of Louisiana, and others who are involved. And we're in conversations now, and I think it's likely we will be able to play the Super Bowl in New Orleans at a later date and play our whole postseason. It's not certain, but we're working in that direction.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being here, Commissioner.
Thank you.
That's what's happening here in Kansas City. Now let's go to Atlanta to Ray Bentley.
Thanks, Sam. Security is beefed up here as Carolina visits Atlanta, a city which is no stranger to terror. Recall the 1996 Olympic bombing in Centennial Park. However, those games went on to success, just as the NFL will today. The Atlanta Falcons held some very successful games this past Tuesday. They held a flag football fundraiser with their fans and raised almost $200,000 for the relief fund. On the other side, the Carolina Panthers also got involved, visiting with their fans who were donating blood. Let's go to Cleveland and visit with Kenny Albert.
Thanks very much, Ray. Here in Cleveland, the Browns are doing their part to assist families affected by last week's tragedy.
And what the Browns are going to do is, in effect, adopt two families, at least two families, from the fallen heroes that engaged in the rescue effort in New York.
And those families will receive financial aid, attend Browns games, and their children will be offered summer jobs with the Cleveland Browns. Now to Chicago and Dick Stockton.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. And we have a steady rain here at Soldier Field as the Vikings go against the Chicago Bears as they make their attempt back to normal life today. Denny Green of the Minnesota Vikings, who already suffered a tremendous tragedy with the death of Corey Stringer in August, says that football players are emblematic of America. There are so many rags to riches stories, and they're ready to go today. As far as Dick Giron of the Chicago Bears says, no question, we're ready to play, and if we're going to play, let's do it right. And to help him, he'll get his top wide receiver, Marcus Robinson, back in the lineup today as we send it back to JB in Los Angeles.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. And later today in part 2 of our doubleheader, most of you will see a big NFC West clash between the Rams and 49ers. Others will catch the Eagles battling in Seattle. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on Fox. And Chris Collinsworth talked about the firefighters anxious to get back to football. They'll have a couple of good late games to tune in.
Yeah, they really will. And I think the big one is going to be with St. Louis. And what a difference Lovie Smith has made with this St. Louis defense. That was really a bit of a laughingstock a season ago, and now they were simply sensational. 9 new starters and really looked tremendous. The question now is on the offensive side. Can they protect Kurt Warner? Everybody seems to now want to come after him with the blitz. He got hit a lot against Philadelphia. I think San Francisco is going to do the same thing today.
Yeah, Philadelphia came with the same blitz package that San Diego came with last year, and Warner lit them up. He did not light Philadelphia up. He looks a bit uneasy in the pocket. It'd be interesting to see how that develops over the year, whether those concussions from last year will have a residual effect on how he sits in the pocket.
Y'all know I don't like to go north because it's too cold, but taking this show a little bit further north, you've got Seattle hosting the Eagles up there, and And if I'm Mike Holmgren, he's got to look at Hasselbeck, his young quarterback, and go, what in the world can I do to help this young man? Because as a young quarterback, when you get all those sacks and 2 interceptions in your first start, you lose your confidence. I wouldn't be surprised today, JB, if they come out with 2 tight ends, keep a back in, send out 2 receivers, and primarily Darrell Jackson, and hope this young man can get his confidence early in this game.
Speaking of trends, tight ends being utilized a lot more throughout the league, huh?
Good stuff.
All right, folks, we've got a lot more to come in today's show, including a closer look at the Giants and Jets' emotional week and my road trip across America. As I found out, many people, including NFL players, are giving back to their country in its time of need. As America grieved, the NFL as a family reached out in its communities to lend a helping hand. The Saints, Colts, and Rams took to the streets outside of their stadiums, raising funds for the victims in New York and Washington. The Falcons took to the field on their day off, playing an inter-squad flag football tournament with all the proceeds going to charity.
This is our gesture to give back. We're going to raise funds today, and guys going to donate money and everything to give to some of the funds.
Chiefs General Manager Carl Peterson and linebacker Donnie Edwards were part of a Kansas City fundraiser. The Packers and Dolphins did their part, signing autographs for fans who donated to various relief organizations.
I think it's definitely important for everybody to do a little something extra that they wouldn't normally do on their day off.
How this happened. Drafted Tim Couch. Couch's mentor was Ty Detmer on the field and in the practical joke department. Now, not that they're making practical jokes during the national anthem, but some guys in the NFL.
How this. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cleveland Browns Stadium. The events of September 11th have changed the world. Let us now take a moment to remember and to move forward together in a new spirit of unity and determination.
For the National Football League and all Americans, last Sunday was a day of grieving, a day of mourning, a day of healing. It was not a time to play football. It was a time to lend a hand and give a hug. It was a day when our football heroes paid tribute to other heroes. Now, with a new sense of purpose, it is time to return to work and play, to open our stadiums and move forward, to return to football and everything else that America stands for, to take our first step together with dedication and determination, while never forgetting where we've been and where we need to go.
We New Yorkers are a strong people, and America's a strong nation. And so, we mourn those who died in this horrible attack and salute those brave firefighters and police officers and emergency personnel who gave their lives so that thousands could escape safely. We must stand united, united as New Yorkers, united as Americans, and committed that the freedoms that they tried to take from us will not only be preserved and secure, but will be stronger and greater than ever before. We will rebuild our great city with Mayor Giuliani, and we will stand with our president to make sure that our freedoms are secure. This is the greatest country on earth. God bless America.